Okay, and we're recording. Today I'm watching Henry Cavill Warhammer trailer 2025 and why he quit The Witcher. This is interesting. Let's check it out. This intro is long. What the hell's going on here? Damn, bro.
He just announced it. It answers a
Hold on.
Warhammer trailer for his new Warhammer series he just announced that he's making. Like, literally, as I'm making this video, he just announced it. It answers a lot of questions because it has been crazy the last several weeks with everything that's happened with him quitting The Witcher and now leaving the role as Superman in the DCEU, or the DCU as they're calling it now. Turns out the Warhammer series is a big part of his decision to change a lot of his plans. Not all of his plans, but a big part of his plans.
Okay.
So I'll explain what's going on, where this all fits, what it all means.
Dude
And if you have no idea what Warhammer is,
right now.
I will explain that too. If you're brand new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to get all the videos. Of course, he'll do more trailer videos when he releases them, but like he just started making the series. So it's still meant to be very early days. But the big news, if you weren't aware, is that Henry Cavill is now starring and producing a live-action Warhammer series at Amazon. Like, he's one of the principals of actually making the show. He's not just an actor for hire like he was on The Witcher. It's been in the works for a while. Amazon is still locking down the rights. Like, they've actually been trying to make this, get it going for the last year. And because he's producing it means he's a much bigger part in the way that it looks, the way that it feels, the entire series, not just in his character, like I said. On The Witcher Netflix, he was just an actor for hire who the writers and producers would listen to occasionally. Like, he would have his own input about the way they should do things. And they would say things like, oh, okay, that's great. We'll take that into account when we're writing our scripts for the next couple of episodes, the next season. As much control but they wouldn't be bound to do whatever Henry Cavill wanted to do. This time, he's going to be in control of the Warhammer series.
I don't even know the story of the Warhammer,
Henry Cavill is like the most swole nerd you will ever find. He has so much nerd cred. Like the way that Vin Diesel and Joe Manganiello are not so secret, huge Dungeons & Dragons nerds. Henry Cavill is a huge Witcher nerd, but he's an even bigger fanboy of Warhammer. Like he says, for the past 30 years, he has been a Warhammer fanboy, hardcore. Even when they were promoting The Witcher Season 2, you may remember he and Joey Beatty, who plays Jaskier, broke off on this huge side tangent about their Warhammer tabletop gaming obsession.
Henry, let's start with you.
Specifically Witcher universe or just...
I mean, just anything.
Oh my goodness, here we go.
How long have you got?
You've got so many and I've got none.
Yeah, ruling out The Witcher.
Yeah, no, The Witcher. Okay.
I mean, the easy answer is Warhammer 40,000. That is my jam. I have been into it since I was 10.
What's your army at the moment?
Custodes.
Yeah. I'm going Necrons next year.
Necrons? Oh. Okay. All right. Cool.
Were you into?
Yes.
Were you into this before, or is this a new thing?
Let's just assume that anything nerdy I've been doing for a good 30 years.
Oh wow, we could talk for hours.
Yeah. No, so yeah, this is that's my jam, and that's the stuff I do in my free time.
That's amazing. Amazing. I'd love to see your.
I mean, like, look at how she giggling, man. Like, she's a nerd, bro, but, you know, got him giggling.
Armies. Do you paint them yourself?
I do, yes.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Is it?
That is really...
That's not cool at all. That's not cool at all.
I like painting, there you go. So I think I'd really enjoy that.
I think you'd be surprised, yeah.
Yeah, I think I really would.
This is what you need to do in your trailers on the off time during season 3. You paint minis right on the call sheet.
Henry's painting time.
Yeah.
I love that they hijacked the promotion of The Witcher Season 2 to just spend a whole bunch of time talking about their Warhammer love and how they spend a bunch of time on the set of The Witcher playing Warhammer. Like, while he was actually making The Witcher Season 2, he and Joey Beatty were both playing Warhammer games with each other.
Listen, I just want to say this up front. I thought he was capping when he said he was a fan of, like, the nerd shit, like The Witcher, like, he know The Witcher books and everything. I'm a nerd and I don't even know The Witcher books. But then again, I'm African. I don't have any business reading The Witcher books, but the game, sign me up. Warhammer, sign me up. Game, not the audiobooks. I still gotta listen to that.
There's a story that Henry Cavill almost missed his audition for The Witcher before season 1 because he was in the middle of crafting Warhammer figures. The same thing happened back when he was cast as Superman for Man of Steel. He missed Zack Snyder's phone call telling him that he was going to be his new Superman in the Man of Steel movie. You got the part because he was busy playing World of Warcraft.
Well, the first time I got the call, I actually missed it. I was playing World of Warcraft at the time, and I had my priorities straight.
That's how big a fan of this kind of stuff he is. A while ago, you probably saw him post a video of the Warhammer people who actually make the game, giving him a huge tour back in February this year, just a little while ago. Now it turns out they were probably doing that as part of the development of this Warhammer series and these Warhammer movies with Amazon. He calls it a Warhammer cinematic universe that they're developing, so it sounds like they'll start with the TV series and it will eventually do Warhammer movies as well. But the idea is that when they posted this video, they were probably still in the middle of actually getting the show going, explaining part of the reason why he probably jumped ship on The Witcher when that was getting ready for season 2. There were a couple reasons why he left The Witcher. The Witcher people have also said that they'll eventually talk more about that when season 3 drops in 2023. But they said that him leaving the show started back when they were developing season 2. So like him leaving The Witcher has been in the works for a while now. And when that was happening, he was still working on his deal with The Rock, the Black Adam, to come back as Superman. I just posted a video yesterday about his announcement that he was leaving Superman. During that, he also said that as recently as October of this year, there was a completely different plan in place for him to come back and do Man of Steel 2. He'd already filmed a Flash movie cameo scene earlier this year, too. Who knows if they're going to...
Bro, I'm so confused right now. Where are these scenes coming from? Are they coming from the new movies? I haven't been watching movies and series in a long time, man.
Take that out of the movie now. But by November of this year, just like a little while after Henry Cavill made his big announcement that he was coming back, like the studio told him to tell everyone that he was back as Superman. Right after that, they finished hiring James Gunn, and then James Gunn and his partner came up with their brand new 10-year plan for DC movies that was completely different. That's why you're hearing about James Gunn canceling the Snyderverse effectively, like completely rebooting the DC universe, getting rid of all the actors that Zack Snyder had cast. But literally a day after Henry Cavill made his big Superman announcement like he's leaving the role, he releases this Warhammer trailer. So clearly he had the Warhammer thing ready to go this past year. Like he'd been working out in the background for a long time. And it's probably the biggest reason why he left The Witcher.
I'm going to try to look
probably
at his
also
Instagram.
figured into that a little bit, but I think the series is the bigger part of that. But just to be clear, because he'd been, quote-unquote, politely fired as Superman and he quit The Witcher on his own, doesn't mean that he's going back to The Witcher. Henry Cavill now is probably going to be focusing on the new Warhammer series, so it sounds like he's going to be okay. He'll come out of this okay, and probably making other movies that he previously avoided because of his commitments to Superman and The Witcher, like answering Kevin Feige's phone calls, playing a Marvel character, doing the Mass Effect movie that he teased a couple years ago. The sky is the limit for him. He can do whatever he wants to now. This is his official statement on the Warhammer trailer that he posted. For 30 years, I've dreamt of seeing a Warhammer universe in live action. Like I said, he's been a fanboy of Warhammer playing the game for the past 30 years. Now, after 22 years of experience as an actor inside Hollywood, I finally feel I have the skill set and experience to guide a Warhammer cinematic universe into life. Like I said, cinematic universe meaning movies and TV shows. Partnering with Natalie Viscuso at Vertigo has been a blessing beyond words, probably because Vertigo holds the rights to the TV shows and the movies. Without her, we might not have found the perfect home at Amazon, meaning that the TV show will drop on Amazon, and it will give us the freedom to be true to the massive scope of Warhammer, just meaning that Amazon's going to let them do whatever they want to do with the Warhammer series, the Warhammer movies. To all you Warhammer fans out there, I promise to respect this IP we love. I promise to bring you something familiar, and I endeavor to bring you something fantastic that is, as of yet, unseen, meaning that they haven't actually made it yet, like they're still trying to get it going. Our first steps are to find our filmmaker, creator, writer, watch this space, my friends, for the Emperor. So if you're new to Warhammer, I'll explain what this means and some of his reference.
Hold on, I just want to say though, like it's kind of damning, you know, to yourself if you're gonna make promises, you know, because too many people make too many promises and then boom, you know, it never happens because they never find the right people, production issues, whatever, blah blah blah, you know, so many background issues that unable for them to produce whatever they want to produce, and that's a shame. But you know, making those promises, you know, that's kind of a set for failure type of thing.
Here, but clearly he's been working on this for a long time, so I couldn't be happier for him. It seems like it's going to eventually be his main TV show.
And don't forget my cough syrup.
Is it a wet or dry cough?
I really don't like these ads, bro. But yeah, Henry Cavill, what a nerd, you know, more of a nerd than me, man. But you know, bigger than me, you know, way more Superman looking than me, way more Superman looking than most of us, you know. It's unfortunate, isn't it?
When started filming it, like they say, they're looking for their
Blessed
actual filmmaker, like they're looking for a director, they're looking for writers, meaning they probably won't be able to release episodes until 2026, but it'd be like an 8-episode series with multiple seasons. And the series would come before they make a Warhammer movie. And when he says
Warhammer
for
looks
the Emperor
sick.
in his quote there, the Emperor is one of the major characters in the game, the Lord. He's like the Emperor of all mankind, this god-level being who achieves supreme power. And I believe that Henry Cavill's favorite Warhammer faction are the Custodians, who are genetically modified human warriors and the bodyguards of the Emperor, so this quote makes a little more sense in this context. Yeah. I'm assuming this also means that he will not be playing the actual Emperor during the series. He'll be playing a member of this faction, or like the leader of this faction, called the Captain General. Constantine Valder was the first leader of their order, so that might be who he's playing. There's a bunch of different types of Warhammer games, but primarily it's known as a tabletop game. It's way more popular outside the US because the company that actually makes the game is a British company called Games Workshop. That was the company giving him the big Warhammer tour in that video that I posted earlier in the video. It's a blend of fantasy and science fiction. Like a lot of people think of Warcraft and Starcraft mixed together if it were more like a tabletop Dungeons and Dragons type of game. When you see Henry Cavill painting his Warhammer figures here, a big part of the main version of the game is people just painting, building their physical army pieces like modeling or crafting. And for a lot of people, actually crafting the pieces is a much bigger part of the fandom than actually playing or even winning the game. That's why when he and Joey Beatty hijacked that Witcher conversation to talk about their Warhammer armies, they were talking specifically about who they spend all their time crafting, not about the actual mechanics or strategies in winning the game, just about...
This does not mean that I'm dogging anybody who likes to do this, by the way. I appreciate anyone who has a different type of passion from the general type of thing that other people are used to. I guess I'm typical when it comes to the gaming community. You know, I'm the person who likes the action live games. I'm not really invested in tabletop type of games, card games, MMOs, RPGs. I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in a good story and a good action game. I'm not even interested in sports games. You know, that's how far I go. You know, I'm that typical. You know, give me Elden Ring. I think that's the best I can do. You know, that's the best place you'll ever find me at. You know, but otherwise I'm all about action. I'm all about, like, you know, but you want me to read something? You want me to get invested in something? I'm not. But Henry is, which is insane. How the hell does a man like him get a job like Superman, you know, or, you know, The Witcher? He should be home crafting those things. Okay, he is home crafting those things. He's a nerd, bro. He's
just a nerd. Most Warhammer stories take place in one of two shared universes. The most popular one is Warhammer 40,000 or Warhammer 40K. That's probably the universe that Henry Cavill is talking about specifically.
That's the one I want to. That's the one I know.
It's a dystopian future sci-fi setting with space elves, space orcs, space knights. That's why people make the Warcraft Starcraft comparison. Because the universe is so vast, there are so many campaigns set all over the universe of this setting. There's a massive list of characters. Obviously, Henry Cavill's series will probably only focus on a small portion of them, especially during the first season. Like I said, his post specifically references the Emperor and the Custodes faction, so I think it will feature those characters specifically.
The 40K one.
But like he says, watch this space. He's talking about watch his Instagram account, watch his social media accounts, and he'll continue to make more announcements about what's happening with the series. Later next year, after it starts to come together, he'll probably reveal more about what the actual story is, the characters they're going to start out with, and the actual part of the timeline that they'll pick up in. Post all your reactions in the comments below. Obviously, I will do more videos as we hear more about what he's actually doing with the series.
Yeah, man.
Everyone click here to learn about that new Superman movie that DC is making and what Henry Cavill said about leaving Superman. And click here to listen to Kit Harington.
Damn, bro. Wait, Kit Harington?
Talk about the Game of Thrones Jon Snow sequel series. Thank you so much.
Oh, sequel series. Okay. Okay, never mind then. Oh, my goodness. That's crazy, man. I want to read the comments real quick. I'm glad he's both producing and acting. We need more individuals in the entertainment industry to actually be fans of what they're making. Henry, you got our hearts. And listen, I think he needs professionals as well. Okay, he's gonna have professionals. What am I saying? Of course, beside him to produce this thing. I think we've had successful shows happen because, you know, the right people were at like the production side of things, and, you know, the right directors, you know, the right type of directors. They don't have to be fans, but they just have to be, you know, exceptional directors. You know, Henry Cavill is the only actor I would ever trust with a nerdy franchise. Has he given anything at all? Like, listen, I don't want to dog him. It's just like, you know, like, I don't want him to fail, you know? Is that like a real concern? You know, is anyone else concerned about? I don't want him to fail, bro. I want him to succeed, you know, but I don't want him to, like, you know, make huge promises and everything. This video got like 1.9 million views. I do not know if Emergency Awesome gets these typical numbers, but Henry, clearly people trust him. too much, in my opinion. You know, he needs space to, you know, do his thing and fail, you know, if he has to. But obviously none of us want to look at, like, you know, we want to look at one of our favorite actors or whatever TV personalities. We don't want to see them fail. You know, fun fact, in the game Total War Warhammer 2, there's a unique hero class character for the High Elves called Cavill, named after Henry, for his open enthusiasm and love for the Warhammer franchise. Wait, what? Oh, okay. Amazing news to hear he's producing a proper Warhammer series. Oh, okay, so they named the character. Okay, that's nice. That's really nice. Why not the main character, you know? After the recent news with the Witcher series and Superman, and this suddenly dropped on us, I literally jumped off my bed and yelled. I recently got into Warhammer, and I honestly cannot be any more excited about this. Henry Cavill is the type of person who became an actor to make his nerd fantasies come true, and we love him for it. Hey, listen, I mean, yeah, I see a lot of people have high hopes here. It's already been said. Oh my god. Oh, I hope it becomes a success. I hope it does. Let me end the video, man.